It didn't begin with a paparazzi flash or viral tweet. It started with a hushed phone call. No press junket, no public statement, just two people, separated by distance, discussing something they never thought would come to light. But today, at 7:12 a.m. Eastern sharp, the floodgates opened. A federal affidavit quietly dropped in a freshly reopened investigation, no celebrities named up front. No pictures, just a dry court number and one line that sent shivers through the industry. Call transcript, subject BL to Fixer 42. Audio captured via sealed surveillance. June 15, 2025. For those who know how to decode Hollywood shorthand, BL doesn't mean brief listing. It means Blake Lively. Girl no. 3. Guest list cleanup. Sound familiar? It should. Just 2 weeks back, we released footage from Jennifer Lopez's now infamous selection dinner, a closed-door event Blake wasn't even officially invited to. But she showed up anyway, and now the FBI is tuning in. The call lasted just over 7 minutes. But what's inside it? It could dismantle years of secrets, whispers, and backdoor influence. This wasn't about PR spin it was about lockdown. Now the recording is public. The FBI wiretap confirmed Blake Lively dialed one of the most shadowy figures in entertainment. Damage control just hours after the Lopez dinner chaos. We're talking code red territory. What exactly did she say? Who exactly is girl? No. 3. Because with the affidavit now circulating, Hollywood's PR machines are running over time. J.Lo. She's staying silent because the proof speaks louder than any denial. By the way, every deleted Instagram caption, every generic lawyer-drafted denial takes an army to craft. If you want us to keep pulling the curtain back, join this channel and stay locked in. We expose what others bury. Now, let's get to the recording. It's scratchy in parts, but one line slices through with perfect clarity. We can't have another J.Lo situation. Cold, calculating, and the man on the other line, known only as Fixer 42. Industry insiders recognize him. He's not surprised. Doesn't ask what happened. He just gets to the point. How bad? And Blake's answer. Bad enough she left before the dessert. Bad enough, girl. 3's gone dark for 4 days. It's not concern. That's strategy. But here's where things get sinister. Halfway through the call, the Fixer references the document. He asks, "Still got the soft copy?" The one. With the tier markers and alignment rolls, Blake doesn't skip a beat. "Yeah, I renamed it and stashed it under the brand tab." That right there confirms everything. The infamous Lara tier list. It wasn't a one-time mistake. It's standard operating procedure. This wasn't about burying one scandal. It was about wiping a person out before she even had a chance to speak. The moment Jennifer Lopez stepped away from that table, became clear. This wasn't just an awkward evening. It was the red flag the room had been ignoring, and Blake's immediate reaction. She rang the man who's known for vanishing women from projects, ad campaigns, even search engine results. If that tier list file was still active after the Lopez event, we're not talking spin anymore. We're talking full-blown cover-up. This wasn't about preserving Blake's image. It was about eliminating a witness. But girl 3, she's not staying invisible anymore. And now, the mask is off. The government may call him Fixer 42, but in real life, his name is Darren Cole. Don't recognize it? That's intentional. Darren doesn't give interviews. He doesn't do Vanity Fair features. But if you've heard of any scandal that conveniently vanished before hitting headlines, odds are Darren was behind it. Flashback to 2016. A young rising actress nearly derailed a blockbuster franchise after citing uncomfortable proximity issues. But the lawsuit? It never happened. Why? Because Darren stepped in. He recast the exit as creative redirection, spun it as empowerment, and the actress vanished with an NDA and a check. That same wording? Creative realignment for growth. Yep. It appears in the Blake-linked Lara documents too. Now we know why. That phrasing wasn't hers. It was his. Remember that suspicious press release? Actress leaves project to pursue personal growth. Studio applauds her courage. Behind the scenes, silence, settlements, and reputations rewritten. Darren Cole is the eraser. And Blake didn't reach for him out of panic, this wasn't their first rodeo. Redacted court documents connect him to Blake 3 separate times. Once in 2021, during an internal complaint from a reality show whistleblower. Again in 2023, during a fashion shoot where ethics violations were flagged. And a third time in early 2024, when a staff member mysteriously vanished from a luxury wellness retreat backed by Blake's foundation. None of those stories ever made a splash, but they were real. Darren made sure they disappeared. He wasn't cleaning up Blake's mess. He was already embedded in the system she relied on, and this time, the call got recorded. They weren't handling mistakes, they were managing assets. In the unsealed wiretap, Darren's voice cuts through. "Did you at least split the girls' post-event?" Blake's reply, "Group 3 was isolated," comes redirected. Not hair and wardrobe jargon, these were operational directives. Corporate-like, cold, and clinical, not people. Units. Emotional containment zones. Like triage for reputations. And Darren didn't miss a beat. We'll classify them as observational. Let's make sure Girl 3 doesn't leak until the tags are controlled tags, not metadata, not files. Girls and Girl No. 3 had vanished. No stories, no reels, until last night, she posted briefly. A single selfie captioned June 14th, never again, then deleted, 11 minutes. But someone got the screenshot today. Went to a journalist. Then the courts. And now a subpoena might already be in motion. This isn't just about Blake calling in a fixer. It's about how often she's done it. Tucked into that affidavit is a casual footnote, a reference to pattern-based behavioral labeling linked to previous interpersonal disruptions. Translation? This wasn't Blake's first time activating the system, and it's not just about JLO's dinner. It goes deeper. And darker, the FBI isn't reviewing a single incident. They're sifting through a folder, an archive, for years' worth, labeled with internal protocol. At least 4 unnamed actresses flagged under separate events. But now a former aide has leaked a sample tag she saw herself on a call sheet from a 2022 off-books campaign dinner. It read, "Dovetair, maintain visibility, easy compliance." Another, Crow-Tear, limit exposure, high risk. These weren't casting notes. They were soft cancellation instructions. See the pattern the FBI does? They're reportedly linking this leaked database to a pulled Netflix doc, a buried cosmetics lawsuit, and a wellness summit under Blake's brand umbrella, all of them wiped clean online. All of them involving fresh faces who stopped booking jobs without warning. 2 confirmed guests at Lara Connected events. One of them, Cannes Breakout, was in talks for a major Warner Brothers lead, until she posted a cryptic e-story. They don't blacklist you, they graylist you. They smile while doing it. 48 hours later, her account vanished. She hasn't been seen since. And yes, the same fixer Blake called also cleaned up after Florence Pugh mysteriously vanished from a Dior campaign. Now names are surfacing. Real ones. And if Florence was caught in this web, it's not just about brand protection. It's a machinery, quiet, methodical, soft-handed reputation control. The kind that decides who gets visibility and who gets erased. And until last week, it ran seamlessly. But Blake didn't plan for a wiretap, or for J.Lo to exit early, or for Girl No. 3 to drop a cryptic caption. Now the very system Blake used to sort in silence is eating itself alive. In under 2 minutes. And here's the twist this time. It wasn't Blake calling in favors. Fixer made the call. Here's what he said. She asked if we could rerun the HA script. Till now it looked like the FBI had just one conversation, a moment of panic, one fixer, one mess. But now a second audio file has surfaced illegally, leaked this time from inside Blake's own inner circle. Short, brutal, and far more damning. June 17th, 2025, 4:48 p.m., Fixer 42. On the line with a man still unnamed, she's losing control. She wants the same rollout we did after the Hathaway incident. Push burnout, blame mental fatigue, wrap it in a women's support women angle. The unknown contact asks, Will Lopez fall for that? Darren replies, she's out, but girl 3 might, especially if we give her something. Pause. Think about that. Give her something. What? Campaign? A role? A hush payment? Because if that offer is real, we're past PR spin. We're in obstruction territory. Witness manipulation, possible bribery, and the most terrifying line that phrased the Hathaway script. That suggests this isn't one incident tits protocol, because Blake's team didn't improvise. They recycled. Remember that weird media storm around Anne Hathaway's Oscar campaign? How she was suddenly painted as delicate, dramatic, unprofessional? Now we know, same fixer, same plan. Same eerie quiet from Anne. Until now, if Blake's camp has a templated strategy to rebrand.
She's using burnout and sympathy optics. This isn't just unethical, it's dangerous.
So now, the FBI has 2 calls. 2 women scrubbed.
One Hollywood icon, Jennifer Lopez, who refused to stay quiet. Rewind. Back to the night now nicknamed Selection Dinner. The footage, J. Lo walking in. Eyes sharp, presence commanding. She arrived with presence and exited without a word just 43 minutes later. But what no one stopped to ask was, why? Why didn't she speak? What we've uncovered this week rewrites that entire moment. Jennifer Lopez didn't leave because she felt snubbed. She left because she recognized the setup. A source close to Lopez, specifically a stylist who attended, revealed that J. Lo had no prior info on what the night actually was. She believed it was a closed-door celebration of Latina trailblazers. But instead, she witnessed calculated seating, a silent hierarchy, and coded comments like she's too new and push her last. That phrase reached the FBI this morning, and now agents want Jennifer to take the stand. Not because she was complicit, but because she may be the only A-lister who saw the structure playing out and walked out. And don't confuse her quiet exit with passivity. J. Lo has already taken deliberate action. She's removed her name from the Aurora Mentorship Initiative. She's ordered her legal team to preserve all correspondence tied to the June 14th dinner. And she's officially requested the venue's security footage of the rear corridor. The one that shows Blake Lively and Fixer 42 meeting in person. That's right, it wasn't just a phone call. They met face-to-face at the side door. Here's the eerie part. A staffer at the venue confirmed the only time that door opened that evening was after Jennifer had left. Records show an unidentified male entered through the kitchen entrance. No ID, no badge. But the time stamp aligns perfectly with Blake's later call to the fixer. He wasn't summoned after the chaos. He was already there waiting. This wasn't damage control. It was orchestration. Now the feds have more than recordings. They have motive. They have timeline. They have a witness with credibility, someone who left quietly, but consciously. Jennifer Lopez didn't just dip early from a boring event. She knew what she was looking at and wanted no part of it. That makes her the most pivotal figure in unraveling the entire web. What was billed as a polished evening of philanthropic courtesy of Blake's Foundation and a handful of discreet brand partners has been unmasked. This wasn't about empowerment. It was about classification. And worse, some guests weren't even invited the usual way. They were selected. A leaked internal memo obtained by Deadline Confidential showed Blake's team used a data index to finalize the guest list. Each attendee was scored by influence metrics, PR pliability, brand suitability, and receptiveness to reframing industry speak for easy to reshape. And here's where things darken. Multiple women now tied to Blake's rumored blacklist were seated that night. One of them, a TikTok star recently signed to Netflix. Since the dinner, she's vanished. No uploads, no public sightings. Her agent reportedly keeps circling one question. Who was the man Blake claimed was handling brand oversight in the kitchen? But then another name popped up, one not previously associated with the story. Sofia Vergara. Why? Because her name appeared on the final guest list, yet she never showed. We dug further. Turns out Sofia RSVP yes, then canceled 48 hours before. No explanation. Until now, source close to her team disclosed that her Assistant previewed the dinner materials and flagged the tier alignment language as a red flag. That assistant used to work for Reese Witherspoon. And longtime followers of our channel, Will Norris, has her own history with Blake's silent erasure tactics. That heads up may have saved Sophia from walking into something calculated. Because this wasn't a dinner, it was a sorting ceremony. It's a deliberate process of coding, ranking, and positioning rising women in terms of who to promote and who to phase out. And in the center of it all was Blake Lively, smiling wide, hugging interns, and ignoring the man standing at the back door. Now the list is public, and every woman on it will soon face one impossible question. Did you know you were being vetted, not honored? Because how they answer might crack this thing wide open. For weeks, Ryan Reynolds remained completely silent. While Blake's name surged in headlines, while dinner footage circulated, while transcripts went viral, he posted jokes, promoted gin, stayed far, far away from the real storm until last night. That's when a private message thread between Ryan and Fixer42Yes. Darren Cole was anonymously dropped onto a mid-tier celebrity blog, and it rewrites everything. The thread shows Ryan contacting Darren just hours after Blake's infamous dinner call. What did Ryan write? "We have to control this. Jay can't flip. User overbooked history." She's done it before. On June 15th at 11:27 p.m., Ryan continued. "Frame it like she had a conflict. Wait. That group won't question her schedule." "She's JLO," Darren responded. "Copy that. I'll stage a press line with a calendar conflict. No need for a formal statement unless she goes public." Ryan closed it with, "She won't. Not yet. Not yet." He knew. He knew Jennifer Lopez had witnessed something explosive. He wasn't just caught off guard. He wasn't staying neutral. Instead of trying to stop the storm, Ryan Reynolds tried to steer it behind the curtain. This wasn't passive silence. It was strategic maneuvering. It was pulling the strings behind. Closed doors, working to shape the story before it ever hit the headlines. And now, federal investigators are poring over every interaction Ryan had with anyone tied to the AAR events. That includes internal publicists, outside PR firms, and Darren Colias, Fixer42 himself. Because Ryan's name doesn't just appear. In one leak, shows up in the invoicing records tied to Cole's services. That's right, there's growing evidence Ryan may have financed the Fixer directly. The label on the invoice, strategic visibility containment. That's not a denial, it's a digital cover-up plan. Ryan wasn't in the dark. He bankrolled the operation, and this shifts the focus entirely. We're not just looking at Blake Lively anymore. We're staring at a power couple who may have quietly constructed a machine built to rise by taking others out. But now that machine is under intense federal scrutiny, because the man beloved for playing a clever, irreverent superhero might be Hollywood's most deliberate manipulator. She was nothing but footnote till she wasn't. Girl no. 3. The only attendee from that now infamous dinner who dropped off the map. No red carpets. No comments aside from one cryptic caption that disappeared after just 11 minutes. Her identity was a mystery. Until last night. A 47-second video emerged from an encrypted Dropbox folder labeled, "If anything happens to me, start here." In the clip, we finally see her and hear her. She doesn't say her name. She doesn't say Blake's either. But every single word mirrors what the FBI already has in sworn witness records. Her voice trembles. She's in a bare room, likely someone's guest space. But what she says lands like a shockwave. They said I'd gain exposure. They said it was a branding night. But once I was seated, I understood. It wasn't about what I could offer. It was about how silent I'd stay. It was grouped by compliance. Told to stay quiet when a certain actress was speaking. I was told I didn't photograph well next to legacy talent. Then I saw the man by the kitchen. I asked who he was. Someone leaned over and said, "That's the guy who erases you." That final quote is now scorched into the internet's memory. That's the guy who erases you. The clip has already been re-uploaded across Reddit, X, and private Discord servers for young actors. The original Dropbox link was pulled but too late. The message was out. Girl, no, 3 is spoken. And this isn't about gossip anymore. This is industrial scale silencing. So what does this change? Everything Girl 3 wasn't expected to come forward, yet she did, which makes her the central cooperating witness in what could become a defining legal case in the entertainment world. The FBI has already made contact with her, they've traced the file's metadata, they've verified its source, and they've identified 2 women briefly visible in the mirror behind her. One's a stylist, the other used to work for Blake. Here's the twist. That second woman is missing now. Deleted her socials, left her job, packed up and vanished from Los Angeles. But Girl 3's final words suggest why. I wasn't the only one looking for a way out. She helped me get my phone back after they tried to hold it. She told me to run. I hope she ran too. By the time that video went viral, Blake and Ryan were already airborne. A private flight was recorded departing Van Nuys at 6:42 a.m., heading for a secluded compound in upstate New York. No paparazzi, no press trail. FAA logs confirm the manifest is sealed under security provisions. But was it really about safety or about fleeing the fallout? Because when the architects of the illusion realize the illusion's gone, their only move is to disappear. The FBI, however, isn't letting this drop. Insiders say formal subpoenas have already gone out. Every email, every Slack message from the past 6 months tied to Aurora is being pulled. Cole Consulting's payments are under review. 2 production companies linked to Ryan's branding deals have also been contacted. This isn't a tabloid storm, it's a federal dragnet. Every name on that dinner guest list, celebrity, assistant, influencers, going to be questioned. FBI expands Hollywood probe into Blake Lively's curated events. 6 key witnesses to be questioned this week. But here's where it twists. Blake and Ryan saw it coming. How? Internal docs show they had a scheduled Vanity Fair cover interview for July 3rd, canceled 2 days ago. The cancellation email read, "Due to expected press interference, we're pulling the piece. We'll revisit when timing improves." So no, they weren't just writing statements. They were preparing an exit strategy, and now one question echoes everywhere. Will there be criminal charges? Too early to say. But here's what's known. 3 audio recordings are now in federal hands. 2 witnesses have received legal protections. An anonymous message points to a 4th curated dinner. Blake had scheduled for August now, called off indefinitely, because what they built wasn't a dinner series. It was a pipeline. A mirror house. It's cracking. If even half of what we've learned is true, Blake and Ryan didn't just dominate Hollywood. They engineered a hidden system to control it. And now that curtain is burning. Let's recap. A leaked FBI wiretap proves Blake Lively made the call after the dinner. The person who answered, Hollywood's fixer, Darren Cole.